All right, everybody, welcome into the Roundball Daily Studios here, aka my apartment. This is Cal Staten, and I just wanted to take this time to take a little bit of a look at what happened. Obviously, everyone knows the upset, Fairleigh Dickinson upsetting Purdue. It was unbelievable. Maybe the biggest upset ever. Some people say. I'm not sure if I agree with that because of the fact that Purdue may be an underwhelming #1 seed. Team is obviously, we've seen some teams in the past have a lot better NBA talent and a lot better talent around them, college-wise even, than Purdue had this season. But that's besides the point. A 16 beat a 1, only the second time ever, and the first time ever that a 16 came from the play-in game, the first 4, and beat a 1. And also didn't even really make the tournament. Normally, through the normal channel, they had to get in the NEC just because Merrimack hadn't even been in Division I long enough. They had so many crazy losses, only 4 wins last year, 4-22 or something like that. So it's crazy. And how did this happen? One of the big reasons was Sean Moore, the kid, junior guard from St. Thomas Aquinas, first season at Fairleigh Dickinson. And I wanted to take a look. This kid averaged 7 points a game in the regular season, 7 points a game. And he came in and had the biggest games of his life against Purdue in the NCAA tournament, had a good game against FAU the next game as well. But he really was the definition of one shining moment, and I wanted to take a look at that and see how he did it and just break down a little bit in the game what was able to get him open and how he was able to get open and how he was able to get some of those shots off. So let's take a look now. Let's have a little bit of a breakdown on Sean Moore from Fairleigh Dickinson on this Roundball Daily March Madness breakdown. All right, so let's take a look here. This is FDU versus Purdue, obviously. First possession of the game, let's take a look at what Purdue's doing. They got Zach Edey here, National Player of the Year. FDU, smallest lineup in the country by average height. So what Purdue's going to try to do, obviously, they kind of have a little bit of a smaller lineup, not a huge team outside of Edey, obviously, the big guy who's 7'3", whatever he is. It's crazy, but he was the National Player of the Year, pretty good on defense as well. They decide that they're going to have him guard Sean Moore for some reason, and I think that was a disastrous decision. As you take a look, Moore on the perimeter, comes out here. He's got a little bit of space, decides to go around him like a lot of NBA players will do against a big guy like that. He's quicker, drives right past him. He knows where to get into his spot right down here in the paint. In the post, gives him a little move to the left, a little shakes him off, gets him to go by. Then he's able to rise up over him. The one-handed shot right in the paint, right over him, gets it to go in the lane, and that's just a great job by him. We take one more look at it, full speed, go back to the beginning, drives in. That's barbecue chicken, as Shaq likes to say. Gets the bucket right there. All right, next thing that happens here, we take a look. Now we got Edey on him still. Really just giving him way too much space here, Purdue. I don't know what they were doing. Look at the space in between Edey and Moore. You take a look at the stats on the season. He wasn't that great of a three-point shooter on the season. Obviously not a huge scorer, as we just talked about. But this is way too much space. If he's a shooter at all, you feel disrespected right here, and I would if I was Moore. And he does. And you take a look, a little handoff right there, give it right back to him. Look at all the room he's got. I think Edey's maybe afraid of the drive inside. He knows he's quicker than him. He's going to give him a little extra space, and he just rises up, gets a hand up, but it's not enough. Moore knocks it down, and that's what he does right there. All right, let's take a look. Same thing here. We've got Moore with the ball. Edey on him. He's giving him some space still here, trying to close in a little bit, it looks like. Take a look at what happens. Have a little dribble handoff, screen, and he's able to just step into this one. They give it right back to him. They know that he's going to be open. And you take a look at why here off the handoff. Gives him the ball, the screen. Edey's kind of going back here to guard against the penetration in here, which is a good move maybe, but you take a look. You have help defense here. You really don't need that. You really don't want to leave Moore open, so I guess it isn't a good move at all. But he takes a step in there, and then that leaves Moore with plenty of space here as he catches the ball confidently, catches and shoots right over the big guy. That's good shot making right there to get it over the 7'4" guy. Nice job there, but he shoots it with confidence. He's rolling a little bit, and this is how he gets going in the second half. First possession for him to get it down and gives FDU the lead again. All right, now here's an example of a guy who has confidence now, and he's flowing in the rhythm. You see what happens. Moore is going to catch the ball here. He's got Gillis on him now as they switch. He gets into the paint, gives him a little Dirk Nowitzki turnaround. That is just beautiful, and that's what happens when you have confidence right there, rolling into your shot. Let's take a look at it one more time. He got rolling, knocked down a couple threes. He's feeling good. He's already probably, close to his season high for points. He's feeling it against Purdue. This is a 16 against a 1. You got the lead. You're looking for the upset here. This is just everything you want in March Madness right here, and that's what he does. And Gillis, obviously, this is a guy who's an NBA-level athlete. He's definitely capable of making it to the next level. Not really like Shaq. I'm not really familiar with his game, but you take a look at Moore. He's able to just kind of go right by him, and he gets into the lane, gives him a little spin move, just classic right here. Step back, gets into it, has the Dirk-type fade. He doesn't have the height, but he's got athleticism. He's raw, and he's got great shot-making ability, as we saw in those last two plays with the one over Edey and here over Gillis. Just a good job yet again. All right, we've looked at Moore's offense. Equally as important, let's take a look at his defense now and see what happened in this game. 3-point lead right here, 1:44. This is a huge possession right here. Purdue had just called timeout. They're inbounding the ball. Obviously, they're rattled here, down 3 to the 16th seed FDU, 1:44 left. This is a gigantic possession. They inbound the ball here. You got Moore double teaming Edey, as you can see right off of there. Kind of a risky pass on the inbounds because there's 3 defenders right here. They got a screen here, but they kind of ignore the guy in the corner. Moore doesn't go with this guy over here, and he just tries to lob it in, which is, this guy's 7'4", Edey. Kind of a good decision usually, but Moore is able to jump up, knocks it away, gets all ball perfect right there. And then FDU comes up with it, and then he's out in transition, and they're running the floor. And you take a look, they look ahead to Moore, gets the ball. He's got, 3-on-1 basically situation here with this guy trailing. Is able to go and do the rip-through move, get right to the cup, finish it. Great defense to offense, and that's a huge play as we take a look at it one more time and go back. Gets the all ball right there, and then he's out and they're running. Gets right through the rip-through move into the lane, and it's 58-53 now with 1:36 left, and now they can smell it here. FDU got to get a couple more stops, and they're home free. All right, final possession here. FDU up 2 with 1:09 left to go in the game. Huge possession, obviously. And obviously this video is about Moore. There's a lot of guys on FDU who really came through, who really did an amazing job in this game and were the reason why they upset Purdue and won this game. But this is a video about Moore, and so that's why we're focusing on him. A lot of guys you could mention, obviously, Dimitri Roberts, just a bunch of guys. Everybody played out of their minds, as you have to do, I guess, if you're from the NEC and you're the 16th seed going up against the 1 seed. But we take a look here. We're going to have a screen action on the ball handler. Moore sets the screen. Same situation. Edey's out. He's way far outside where he shouldn't be really on defense in normal situations. Not used to playing out here on the perimeter. And you take a look at what happens as the screen is set. He drives once again. We see him take a step towards the paint to kind of defend against the penetration here as he did earlier. Moore's just left floating open. And, hey, I mean, this guy averages, 7 points a game? It wasn't even that at this point before he had these 2 big games. I guess if you're Purdue, if you're Matt Painter, you're comfortable leaving him open. You're comfortable with him beating you, and that's exactly what he does because he catches the ball here. He's got confidence. He's wide open. Edey's here. They got nothing to lose. He's wide open. He's going to take the shot. They've got nothing to lose. This is March Madness. This is your shot, your time to shine. This shot might be on one shining moment because this is the one that basically clinches it for them. And here he goes, knocks it down over Edey, not bothered by the length of Edey, not bothered at all by anything, and he knocks it down. That's the biggest shot of the game for FDU. All right, we just talked about his offense making the biggest shot of the game. This is the biggest play on defense in the game, and he comes up with this too. Remember, this guy was a Division II player. He's at St. Thomas Aquinas last year. It's unbelievable for him to be making these plays in March Madness. It'd be unbelievable enough for him to come from the Northeast Conference, a 16th seed, and do this. But this kid was a Division II player for 2 years. He didn't play well early in the season, single digits average in scoring, kind of had a tough transition into D1, you would think. But take a look here, 19 seconds left, 3-point game, Purdue inbounds. You take a look at what happens. They try to clear out here a little bit. He's actually guarding, and I think this was smart by Tobin Anderson. He's not guarding Edey because they know that he can't guard him here. They got the bigger guy on him in here. So he's just athletic enough to make this play. You take a look at what happens. They get the screen, the handoff. He drives in, gets some space in there, but Moore has the length on him, and to be able to contest this shot even from behind. And you see what happens. He jumps up, blocks the shot from behind. I mean, that's just a big-time play, and he said he's been making big-time plays in this game. But for this kid to do this against a Big Ten guard, I mean, this is outclassing the Purdue guard right here. I know Purdue didn't have great guard play this season. Man, he's got the length there, goes up, knocks it away. I don't know if we want to see it one more time in fast motion here, but let's take a look real quick if we can, because this was the biggest defensive play. We just saw the biggest shot. This is the biggest defensive play of the game. And take a look again as he gets in. He's a little bit behind him, a little slow, but it doesn't matter. He's got that reach, knocks it away. 12 seconds left. Just a big-time play right there. Big-time play. All right, we're back here full screen in the studio, as you can see. So what does it mean for Sean Moore? Can he play at a higher level? Can he continue this at a different level, maybe playing in the MAC next season at Iona with Tobin Anderson, maybe playing somewhere else? Can he continue to play professionally? I mean, he's got some of the skills. You take a look at the fact that he has some length there. He's got some athleticism. He's thin, kind of got a good body to play well in Division I. He's 6'4". He's still a junior, obviously played 2 seasons in Division II, but you know, I mean, averaged 7.3 points a game last year. That's not great, as we saw, but obviously coming up and showed that he can play big time and big minutes. And we didn't show him against Florida Atlantic. He scored 14 in that game, too, in 29 minutes. He had 9 rebounds and an assist. Clearly proved that he's up for it in these big games. And I think he's got a chance. I mean, you see a lot of guys in March Madness that have a run like this a little bit. We saw Casey and Defo with St. Peter's last year. Some of those guys did move on, and Defo ended up going to Seton Hall with Shaheen Holloway and played well this season. So we'll see with Moore. Obviously, we don't know if it's just a couple nights in March or if he can do it next season and keep it going. But that's the fun in watching basketball. And you know what? If he can't keep it going after this, guess what? He had a pretty great run there in March, and most basketball players don't get the chance to have the run like he did. So he did a pretty great job as it is already. So we'll see what happens. This is Cal State in here signing off on this first ever breakdown video from Roundball Daily. But check in later throughout March Madness. We'll have a lot more videos like this, I think, as it keeps going right here on this channel. So hit that little subscribe button if you can. Check it out. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you next time. See you guys.